Hello, welcome back to My Book of Mormon with me, David Michael. This will be episode 43. So since last time I recorded, I actually got a chance to go to the Cognitive Dissidence podcast. They had a fan appreciation picnic, and I went there and got to meet Tom and Cecil. Awesome guys, had such a fun time with them. And so, and what was interesting is kind of word got out that, hey, the host of My Book of Mormon podcast is here. And quite a few people there were like, I know you. I know your show. I like your show. And I was quite surprised because I kind of thought I had this concentration of listeners out in Utah and some Exmos sporadic here and there. But turns out quite a few people that are nothing to do with Mormonism actually enjoy listening to the show. So that's kind of cool. And especially wanted to thank a woman named Lee Frenzy. Met Lee, and we had quite a long talk. But Lee spent the time walking around that picnic, just kind of talking to everyone, saying, have you listened to My Book of Mormon? Because it's awesome, and he's right here. So I want to thank Lee for really being so enthusiastic about getting word out about the show. That was awesome. So thank you so much, Lee. And I hope you keep listening, and I hope I didn't make a fool of myself at the picnic, but yeah, there was some incidents with lighter fluid. I think Cecil got a little mad at me saying, put the lighter fluid down. Anyway, sorry, private joke. So thank you, Lee, and thank you to Tom and Cecil for throwing the picnic. It was a lot of fun. I had a blast, took a great picture with them, tweeted it. I think it was the most retweeted and favorited tweets I have ever sent out, was the picture with Tom and Cecil. So yeah, I had a great time. And so for those of you that couldn't make it, sorry, you missed a great picnic. Anyway, all right. And secondly, I wanted to make sure that last week I thanked Jason for the donation, and I want to make sure and give him full credit. He said it was fine with him to use a full name. So Jason Lane, thank you so much for the donation. And I know I thanked you last week. Thanking you again, because you're awesome. And as always, thanks to all of our patrons, everybody that has supported the show in any way, either financially, per episode, one time, everyone that's done the reviews on Stitcher and iTunes, just any support that you've given, word of mouth about the show. I've actually had a lot of people that have reached out to me and said, heard about you from my uncle, or heard about you from a friend, or heard about you. So the word of mouth helps a lot. So if you can think of someone that you think might enjoy this show, let them know about it. And if it's not for them, what's the worst that can happen? They listen and say, not for me, and move on. No harm. Anyway, so thanks to everybody. All right, so time to get back to the Book of Mormon. Very excited. I think last we left off, the anti-Nephi Lehis, right? So they were the Lamanites that converted to Nephiism, or whatever the hell it's called. But now they're called the Ammonites, right? So they're the Ammonites. But remember, they moved to the Nephite territory, but the Nephites kind of like, they segregated them off, right? So they gave them this little strip of land. They surrounded it with an army and said, we're here to protect you. Yeah, because they're pacifists, remember. These Ammonites, they refused to fight. And so the Nephites said, sure, we'll protect you. We're just going to surround you with an army. Don't worry, nothing to fear. We're here to protect you, as long as you give us a piece of the action. So they basically started taking a cut. We don't really know how much. They just took a piece of everything that they had in there to pay for the army, right? And then there was this enormous battle where just like tens of thousands died, and there you go. So the Nephite guardians were very successful at protecting the Ammonites, and lots of people died, and that's all they said about it. Big battle, tremendous battle, many dead, tens of thousands, moving on. And it was like, all right, okay. So anyway, we're starting chapter 30 of the Book of Alma. It's very exciting. We'll see what happens next. That's pretty much where we are, though. The missionary trip is over. Pretty good success, and we're back home with the Nephites, I think, is what we're starting out with. Okay, so here we go. Behold, now it came to pass, drink, that after the people of Ammon were established in the land of Jershon. Now remember, Jershon is this segregated area where they put all the Ammonites. Jershon, there you go. Yea, drink, and also after the Lamanites were driven out of the land, and their dead were buried by the people of the land. At least they buried them. That was nice, I assume it was the Nephites were the people of the land. They had to bury all these tens of thousands of Lamanites. It had to be a lot of work. Let's not shake that off. That's no small task, burying tens of thousands. They didn't have to. They could have put them in a big pile and set them on fire. No, they did the right thing. They buried them. Good for you. Good for you. All right, now their dead were not numbered because of the greatness of their numbers. Well, we knew it was tens of thousands. That's at least that's a number. Not a very accurate number, but it's a number. Anyway, neither were the dead of the Nephites numbered. But it came to pass. Wait. Yeah, drink. Sorry. That was a sneaky came to pass, but it's a drink. After they had buried their dead, and also after the days of fasting and mourning and prayer, it was in the 16th year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi. There began to be continual peace throughout the land. Continual peace. So I think they gave the Lamanites a proper bitch slap and sent them right back to where they belonged. And so now there's continual peace. Although those Amalekites, they can't be held down. Surely they'll be back. Rah! Amalekites. Yea, drink! And the people did observe to keep the commandments of the Lord. And they were strict in observing the ordinances of God according to the law of Moses, for they were taught to keep the law of Moses until it should be fulfilled. There you go. So everybody is not only peaceful, but they're also doing God's work and following His commandments. Good for them. Look at this. This is a great town. Or great land. I guess it's more than a town, isn't it? Yeah, lots of towns. And thus the people did have no disturbance in all the 16th year of the reign of the judges over the people of Nephi. Well, there you go. There was a year with the reign of the judges where there was no war. Imagine that. Finally happened. Maybe it took 15 years to work out the kinks in this new government, right? And they had kings. Everything was going well. Then went to judges. Things went straight to hell. And now, I think they figured it out. The judges are like, okay, we got a handle on this now. All right. Hopefully. We'll see. Now came to pass drink. Then in the commencement of the 17th year of the reign of the judges, there was continual peace. Well, there you go. 2 years in a row. I think they got the hang of it. All right. But then it came to pass, drink, in the latter end of the 17th year, there came a man into the land of Zarahemla, and he was Antichrist. What? I love how casually they mention that. He was Antichrist. Although, hold on, though. Now, remember, the people that joined the Nephites were called anti-Nephi Lehi, so maybe Antichrist doesn't really mean that this person's against Christ. So maybe he's like an ally of Christ, but they call him anti because they don't know what that word means. Maybe. We'll see. Let's see. For he began to preach unto the people against the prophecies which had been spoken by the prophets concerning the coming of Christ. No. He is really the Antichrist. That's awesome, though. It's just lovely. In the 17th year, there came a man into the land. He was Antichrist. Yeah, that's what he was. You know what I mean? That's awesome. Okay, let's, we got a new character. We don't know his name yet, but he's the Antichrist. Okay. Now, there was no law against a man's belief. Really? I thought this was a theocracy. Apparently not. They have freedom of religion? Now that, I wish I'd known that earlier. Anyway, okay. For it was strictly contrary to the commands of God that there should be a law which should bring men on to unequal grounds. Interesting. For thus saith the Scripture, choose ye this day whom you will serve. Now, if a man desires to serve God, it was his privilege. Or rather, if he believed in God, it was his privilege to serve him. But if he did not believe in him, there was no law to punish him. Gotta say, this is interesting. Because remember back when Korihor was around, right? It seemed like they were ready to punish him for, spreading word that wasn't really God word or whatever. But although he did kill somebody, but it did seem like in his trial, that was like the afterthought. They were like, he was teaching things that we don't believe in. Oh, yeah, and he murdered someone. But anyway, he taught some bad things. Yeah, so, apparently, the real crime there was the murder, and the, false profiting or whatever was actually technically not a crime. Unless the judges in the last 17 years have changed their law. But, yeah, cool. Well, all right, people of Nephi and Zarahemla, good for you for being pretty proactive with your religious liberty. I gotta say, at this time period, there weren't a whole lot of civilizations that agreed with you, so, all right, very progressive. Pretty cool. Okay, but if he murdered, he was punished unto death. Yeah, just like Korihor, yeah. If he was robbed, he was also punished. If he robbed, he was also punished. Fair. If he stole, he was also punished. Because that's different than robbing. Okay. And if he committed adultery, he was also punished. Now, come on now. You had me until then. Murdering, punishment, good. Robbery or stealing, punish, good. Adultery? Yeah, you're starting to get a little bit into religion there. Yeah. I don't know about that one. Anyway, yea, drink. For all this wickedness they were punished. Yeah, so this religious liberty I'm starting to question. So saying, apparently the I guess, liberty that you have is really just in your belief, right? So you can choose not to believe God. There's nothing they can do about that. But if you actually break one of God's commandments, like adultery, then you're in trouble, because that's wicked. So, yeah, this is a weird line they've decided to draw. I'm not sure what to make of it. Okay. For there was a law that men should be judged according to their crimes. Nevertheless, there was no law against a man's belief. Therefore, a man was punished only for the crimes which he had done. Therefore, all men were on equal grounds. All right, so again, we don't know really what the criminal code is, like what's legal and what not. Although the fact that they mentioned adultery and then said wickedness, I think they're being judged for the laws of Moses. So, not real religious liberty. But it does say that there's no thought crime, which is somewhat interesting because there are thought crimes in the Ten Commandments, right? Thou shalt not covet being a prime example, right? It's that coveting is something you think. So anyway, apparently they have made some of the Ten Commandments in Moses' law. Actually, there's several thought crimes in Moses' law, but I'm just talking about the Ten Commandments. They've said some of them don't apply. All right, good for them. I mean, it would be hard to prosecute a thought crime anyway, so there you go. But apparently, actions only. That's what we punish you for. Great. And this Antichrist, whose name was Korihor. Oh, that is awesome. I've heard about this guy. I try to get no spoilers, but I remember people saying, you just wait till you meet Korihor. Oh, I'm excited now. But you know what? I think we need... I don't usually do this, but I feel like this is a momentous occasion. We have an Antichrist. This is exciting. Hold on a second. Let me pause. I'm going to find some dramatic, ominous music. Hold on a sec. Okay, I think I got it. All right, let's try this again with some music. Okay, ready? You like that? All right, let's try it again. And this Antichrist, whose name was Korihor, and the law could have no hold upon him, began to preach unto the people that there should be no Christ. And after this manner did he preach, saying, O ye that are bound under a foolish and vain hope, why do ye yoke yourselves with such foolish things? Why do ye look for a Christ? For no man can know of anything which is to come. Behold, these things which ye call prophecies, which ye say are handed down by holy prophets, behold, they are foolish traditions of your fathers. How do ye know of their surety? Behold, ye cannot know of things which ye do not see. Therefore ye cannot know that there shall be a Christ. Ye look forward, and say that ye see a remission of your sins, but behold, it is the effect of a frenzied mind, and this derangement of your minds comes because of the traditions of your fathers, which lead you away into the belief of things which are not so. Okay, enough of that. Oh, I had to add the laugh at the end. It made it more fun. Yeah. Okay, hopefully you guys like that dramatic introduction of Korihor. The Antichrist. All right. I don't know. I hope he has some more, maybe we'll bring that music back if he has some other, speeches to give. That was pretty fun. Hope you guys like that. That was fun. Okay. And many more such things did he say unto them, telling them that there could be no atonement made for the sins of men, but every man fared in this life according to the management of the creature. Therefore, every man prospered according to his genius, and that every man conquered according to his strength, and whatsoever a man did was no crime. All right. Okay, let's try and dissect Korihor's message here. So, the core of the message, which I said during the whole Evil Voice music part, which, and by the way, for those of you that said, that sounded like the final battle scene from Final Fantasy VII against Sephiroth. For those of you that thought that, I would like to say, you're a nerd. And so am I, because I know what it was too. When I thought I need ominous music, I immediately thought, ooh, how about that final battle in Final Fantasy VII? So yeah, I'm a nerd too. So if you recognize that song, you're at least a video game nerd. All right, so welcome to the club. And yeah. But anyway, like I said, during that time, the core message of Korihor seemed to be, hey, all these prophecies about Christ, nonsense. Just nonsense. You can't possibly know that Christ is coming, right? I mean, it's just like, we can't see into the future. Anyone that says they can see into the future, they're full of crap. And you know what? Honestly, someone said it centuries ago, and our fathers have just always believed it. Doesn't make it true, right? It's just an outdated tradition. Let's let go of it. So fair enough. That was the message. But now, there's many more things he's saying. Now it's getting a little bit deeper. So he's saying now that there could be no atonement for the sins of men. Okay, but then at the end it said, whatsoever a man did was no crime. So that's interesting. So he's basically saying, I don't know that I get it. He's saying that kind of sounds like every man for himself is kind of the message. Like, which is weird. Like, how could you have a society where everyone's just out there just doing whatever they want, like no law at all? So at first he was easy to get behind, but now he sounds like a complete anarchist. And, yeah, anarchy has never worked. At least I've never seen a society that actually had no system of government where it prevailed. But anyway, it sounds like he's an anarchist. Maybe we'll get a little more clarity as we read on. All right. Korihor. What else do you have to say? And thus he did preach unto them, leading away the hearts of many, causing them to lift up their heads in their wickedness. Yea, drink. Leading away many women and also men to commit whoredoms. My favorite word in this book is back. Whoredoms. Oh, that's fantastic. Telling them that when a man was dead, that was the end thereof. Well, that's weird. Like, that wasn't a new sentence. So somehow whoredoms is the same as, like, believing that you don't have a soul. That's weird. I don't know how that was the same sentence. Two different thoughts. I can't make a connection between whoredom and once you're dead forever. Anyway, whoredom and no soul. Good for them. Now this man went over to the land of Jershon also to preach these things among the people of Ammon, who were once the people of the Lamanites. I love that they think we wouldn't know that. We know exactly who the people of Ammon are. We just read it. It was the last chapter. They changed their name. Anyway. But behold, they were more wise than many of the Nephites. Yeah. Nephites, not so bright. We know that. For they took him and bound him and carried him before Ammon, who was high priest over that people. Well, now hold on. I thought he hadn't committed a crime. Now sounds like the Ammonites have now committed a crime themselves of false imprisonment. Yeah. We'll see what happens. And it came to pass, drink, that he caused that he should be carried out of the land. And he came over into the land of Gideon, and began to preach unto them also. Wait, hold on. What are they saying? That he caused that he... Oh, I hate this. Seriously. Listen to the pronouns in this sentence. Came to pass that he caused that he should be carried out of the land. Who's he? There's two he's. I'm going to take a guess and say that Ammon caused that Korihor should be carried out of the land. That at least makes sense in context. Anyway, so they kicked him out. So he went to try and preach to the people of Ammon, and Ammon's like, we're not having any of that. Get out, right? Even though I don't know what justification they used, because they made a big deal out of the fact that the man wasn't committing a crime. But anyway, they kicked him out. Whatever. All right. Okay, so now he's in Gideon. Began to preach unto them also, and here he did not have much success, for he was taken and bound and carried before the high priest, and also the chief judge over all the land. Ooh, the chief judge. And it came to pass, drink, and the high priest said unto him, Why do ye go about perverting the ways of the Lord? Why do ye teach this people, there shall be no Christ, to interrupt their rejoicings? Why do ye speak against the prophecies of the holy prophets? Now the high priest's name was Gideoniah. Gideonah. And Korihor said unto him, all right, should I bring the music back? What do you guys think? Yeah? All right, here it comes. Because I do not teach the foolish traditions of your father, and because I do not teach this people to bind themselves down under the foolish ordinances and performances which are laid down by ancient priests, to usurp power and authority over them, to keep them in ignorance, that they may not lift up their heads, but be brought down according to thy words. Ye say that this people is a free people. Behold, I say they are in bondage. Ye say that those ancient prophecies are true. Behold, I say that ye do not know they are true. All right. Pausing the music for a minute, because this goes on for a while, and I don't know. I think it's going to go on for a while. So I think I'm just going to read. The music was fun, but I think it's going to start to get annoying if I just keep doing it every time Korihor speaks. All right, so he hasn't said anything new. So the high priest is like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Look, what you're teaching him is completely unproven, and you're just saying that someone's coming because someone dreamed it, like whatever, and you're using that to keep them in line, basically. And so I'm calling it out. I'm calling out your BS," is what he's saying. Well, there you go. All right, so Korihor's still talking, but we're not going to do... I'm going to just try and read it normally and not be all... Raw. Although it was fun. Yeah. I don't know. No. I'm done with the music. It was fun, but I think it's done. Okay. Ye say that this people is a guilty and fallen people because of the transgressions of a parent. Behold, I say that a child is not guilty because of its parents. Well, Korihor, well done, sir. That is a fact, right? I mean, how awful that you would punish a child because of something their parents did. Well, that's no good. So, Korihor, you're starting to make more sense. You lost me with this whole anarchy bit you did. Although, in fairness, when they were quoting, like, the words of Korihor, he didn't say anything about that. It was more like, and he said a bunch of other stuff, like, and so I wonder if that was somebody else taking some literary license. Yeah. I love it. I'm like, if you guys don't notice, I read this assuming it happened, right? I mean, the back of my mind, I kind of know I don't think any of this happened, but we'll give it the benefit of the doubt and say maybe it did. So, okay. So if this really happened, I don't know if Korihor really talked about anarchy, because when he's talking, his message has nothing to do with that. It was just that one little blurb that somebody else, whoever was writing this, said, yeah, he also said we should be anarchists, yeah. But he's not saying it. What he's saying makes quite a bit of sense. All right. And ye also say that Christ shall come. But behold, I say ye do not know there shall be a Christ. And ye also say that he shall be slain for the sins of the world. And thus ye lead away this people after the foolish traditions of your fathers, and according to your own desires. And ye keep them down, even as it were in bondage, that ye may glut yourselves with the labors of their hands. That they durst not look up with boldness, and that they durst not enjoy the rights and privileges. Well done, Korihor. He is really calling him out. He's like, look, we've created this religion with a whole bunch of rules that benefit you. You're in the upper echelons of this society, and so you convinced a bunch of people that they have to live a certain way, right? And, give portions of their money to you and all this other kind of stuff. And, wow, imagine that. You're making out like a bandit, and they're not doing so hot. So, I'm calling you out. I am calling you to task. Now, let's see, what's next? Yea, drink! They durst not make use of that which is their own, lest they should offend the priests, who do yoke them according to their desires, and have brought them to believe by their traditions and their dreams, and their whims and their visions and their pretended mysteries, that they should, if they did not according to the words, offend some unknown being who they say is God, a being who never has been seen or known, who never was, nor ever will be. All right, so now he's going even further. So first he was like, look, you can't predict the future. You don't know Jesus is coming. Somebody made him up so they could control the people, and it has been working for hundreds of years, and I'm calling you out. Now he's like, and you know what? While I'm at it, what's this God thing you guys keep talking about? I don't really see that either. That's a bunch of BS, too. Korihor. Really taking it to the next level. All right. Then when the high priest and the chief judge saw the hardness of his heart, really? Hardness of his heart? I think more like, saw that he was being logical. Anyway, yea, drink. When they saw that he would revile even against God, they would not make any reply to his words. There you go. They don't even have a response. They're like, oh, you're speaking against God? Well, we don't have to defend ourselves. But they caused that he should be bound. Well, that's going against their own criminal code. They said he hadn't committed a crime. All right. And they delivered him up into the hands of the officers, and sent him to the land of Zarahemla, that he might be brought before Alma, the chief judge, who was governor over all the land. When did Alma become chief judge again? No, that's not right. Alma was high priest and chief judge. He turned over the chief judginess to someone else so that he could just be a preacher, right? That happened a while ago. Now they're saying Alma's chief judge. I don't know. Either whoever wrote this forgot that detail, or maybe Alma took back the... Maybe that's why everyone's... maybe they forgot they omitted a detail. Remember how, for 15 years, things were just going all to hell? And then all of a sudden we had 2 years of, peace? And I was like, wow, look at that. The judging is working. Maybe Alma was like, my God, I need to be a judge again, because these judges suck. So maybe Alma just took back the chief judge title, and somehow was able to reign in peace. Either way, Alma's chief judge now. Don't know how. They didn't tell us. They told us when he gave it up. They didn't tell us when he got it back. So... it's back, Alma's chief judge. And it came to pass, drink, that when he was brought before Alma and the chief judge... What? So it's not... I'm sorry, I must have read it wrong. Alma and the chief judge. Sorry, everybody. I'm not doing well with my reading. Okay, so Alma is not the chief judge. Man, details. These little words. You gotta catch them. All right, so Alma's not chief judge. Sorry about that little interlude. That was, I'm gonna leave it in just because, whatever. Sometimes I say things wrong, and you guys deserve to hear that too. When I screw up, because, I screwed that up. Okay, so Alma's not chief judge, but the chief judge is there. And, Korihor is being brought before Alma and the chief judge. All right. So he did go on in the same manner as he did in the land of Gideon, which I assume he, in this case, is Korihor. No. Yea, drink. He went on to blaspheme. He went on to blaspheme. I don't know why that was funny, just the way it sounded. And he did rise up in great swelling words before Alma. He did revile against the priests and teachers, accusing them of leading away the people after the silly traditions of their fathers, for the sake of glutting on the labors of the people. Now Alma said unto him, Thou knowest that we do not glut ourselves upon the labor of this people. For behold, I have labored even from the commencement of the reign of the judges until now, with mine own hands for my support, notwithstanding my many travels round about the land to declare the word of God unto my people. I almost got him now. It's like you keep saying that we're extorting these people, right? Making them do all the work. But hey, even the priests are out there working with them, so I don't know what you're talking about, bro. What you got to say about that? So let's see. All right, so Alma's still talking. And notwithstanding the many labors which I have performed in this church, I have never received so much as even one C9 for my labor. I am not going back to that chapter that explained their monetary system, but a C9 I think is a small unit, based on the context. Okay. Neither has any of my brethren, save it were in the judgment seat, and then we have received only according to the law for our time. Oh yeah, remember that terrible system for the judges? You only get paid for when you're actually hearing a case. And so it was in their best interest to make sure that, hardened criminals were set free so they would keep coming back. Remember? Yeah, it was great. And now, if we do not receive anything for our labors in the church, what doth it profit us to labor in the church, save it were to declare the truth, that we may have rejoicings in the joy of our brethren? These are fine. I'm giving Alma some credit. This is a pretty good rebuttal. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. It really is a good rebuttal. Because Korihor is going around saying, all of this is just so you can get rich. And he's like, no, it's not. We really do believe this. Like, in our hearts, see, this book has already got to me. In our minds, your heart doesn't believe anything. In our minds, we really do believe this is true. So this we're not extorting people. This isn't a sham, I believe him. I would believe Alma. I think Alma really does buy into this. No. All right. Then why sayest thou that we preach unto this people to get gain, when thou of thyself knowest that we receive no gain? And now believest thou that we deceive this people, that causes such joy in their hearts? And Korihor answered him, Yea, drink. Well, Korihor, explain yourself. And Alma said unto him, Believest thou that there is a God? And he answered, Nay. Boy, Korihor is being real talkative now, isn't he? Anyway, now Alma said unto him, Will ye deny again that there is a God, and also deny the Christ? For behold, I say unto you, I know there is a God, and also that Christ shall come. Now what evidence have ye that there is no God? Oh, come on, Alma, you were doing so well. Alma, too bad. Yeah, he's forgotten about the burden of proof, unfortunately. Yeah, so Korihor has every right to say, Alma, you just made a claim. Right, he absolutely just did. I know there is a God, and also that Christ shall come. That's actually two claims. So he's made two claims. Korihor is well within his rights to look at him and say, could you provide some evidence that there is a God, and some evidence that Christ shall come? Right? But because Korihor decided to be a little, not as talkative as he was before, just talking about some yays and nays, he missed the opportunity, and so Alma kept talking, and now he's spinning it around on him, shifting the burden of proof to where it doesn't belong, right? So now he's saying, what evidence have ye that there is no God? Well, you can't prove a negative. You just can't. It's impossible, right? I could say, what evidence do you have that there's no Loch Ness Monster? It doesn't make it real, because you can't prove it doesn't exist. You can't prove something doesn't exist, Alma. It's just a silly question. It's a completely silly question. It's not possible. Anyway, here it comes. Alma's pulling it out. He was quicker. He's quicker on the rhetoric, and Korihor got stuck. He should have spoken first. As soon as he made those claims, said, "Evidence now, go." But he missed his opportunity. Now Alma's got the upper hand. All right. So what evidence have ye that there is no God, or that Christ cometh not? I say unto you that ye have none, save it be your word only. This is a terrible argument. Terrible. Seriously, what evidence do you have that there's no flying spaghetti monster that created the world? Right? What evidence do you have there isn't? It's just, there isn't. There's no evidence for something isn't. Anyway, all right, let's just keep going. But behold, I have all things as a testimony that these things are true. Wait, I have all things as a testimony. What is all things? And ye also have all things as a testimony unto you that they are true. Will ye deny them? Believest thou that these things are true? What the hell are the things? What things? Like creation? Like the earth itself and space? That's not evidence that Jesus is coming. You know what I mean? That's not evidence for anything. Weird. That's a weird... I don't know how that... Anyway. All right. Alma's evidence. So at least I'll give Alma some credit here. All right. He did, he was quick on the rhetoric. He turned into the, prove a negative, threw that at him before Korihor could respond to his claims. And now, even without being prodded, he's at least offering some evidence. It's terrible evidence, but it's evidence. He's saying, look around you. This stuff couldn't be here if I wasn't right. Which just doesn't seem... That's just not true. But anyway, whatever. At least he's trying. I'll give Alma that. Behold, I know that thou believest. Here we go. But thou art possessed with a lying spirit, and ye have put off the Spirit of God, that it may have no place in you. But the devil has power over you, and he doth carry you about, working devices that he may destroy the children of God. That's always... Listen, if you ever come out as an atheist, right? If you just tell people, I just don't believe there's a God, doesn't mean there's not, because I can't prove there's not. Nobody can, and neither can I prove Bigfoot either, or that doesn't exist. But anyway, you're just like, I find it incredibly unlikely, and I choose to live my life as if there isn't one. Basically is what you're saying if you say you're an atheist. So, when you do that, one of the most annoying things is when a believer looks at you and says, deep down you really believe. You're just lying to yourself. Why do you hate God? You know you believe in him. Why do you hate him? And it's like, dude, you're not listening to me at all. You know what I mean? Anyway, and that's what Alma's throwing on Korihor. All right, let's see what happens next. And now Korihor said unto Alma, well, it's about time he started talking. If thou wilt show me a sign, that I may be convinced that there is a God, yea, drink, show me that he hath power, and then will I be convinced of the truth of thy words. Ah, fair enough. I agree with Korihor here. Any evidence will do. Doesn't even matter what it is. Anyway, what are you going to do? But Alma said unto him, thou hast had signs enough. Will ye tempt your God? What signs? Ah, Alma, cop out. Give him a sign. You say that you can talk to God whenever. Just be like, God, I don't know, break the laws of physics for a second and do something. Like, give me here's one. Bring in a man who's had his arm chopped off. Ammon can bring you several. He's chopped off a lot. And you just bring in this amputee and just pray to God, make his arm grow back. Right? If that happened, anywhere in the world, in the ever, I'd be convinced. I'd be like, that is an honest to God miracle. There's nothing in science that can explain that. And, yeah, done. There's some power that I have not, God must be. I'd be convinced. So that's what he's saying. Give me something. And Alma's response is, oh, there's signs everywhere. Me. It's like, that's not a sign. Anyway, okay. Thou hast had signs enough. Will ye tempt your God? I'm sorry that this is like, we may only read one chapter today, but this is like, I don't know, rudimentary apologetics argument going on here. And I can't let Alma get away with this stuff. I just, anyway, here we go. All right. Thou hast had signs enough. Will ye tempt your God? Will ye say, show unto me a sign, when ye have the testimony of all these thy brethren, and also all the holy prophets? Well, that's a terrible... Okay, so here, I'm sorry, this is going to take me a while to get through, but I can't let him get away with this stuff. So he's saying you're tempting God by saying to God, hey, God, you gave me a brain that thinks reasonably, that thinks critically, right, of the world around me. I don't just assume things are true because someone told me that it was true, right? So God, if you'd like me to take you seriously, could you give me some sort of sign? Apparently, that's tempting God, right? And that's no good. You shouldn't even ask. Don't even ask for evidence. Because, why not? Because all of these other people around here are saying it's true. Your brethren, your holy prophets. And so, because everyone around you is saying it's true, it must be true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you could make this argument anywhere. With different belief systems, right? You can go to the Middle East and be like, everybody around you is a Muslim. Why are you doubting? Seriously. Everyone, look around you. What's wrong with you? Why are you tempting God? Clearly it's true. Everyone believes it. It's a terrible argument. Anywhere. This doesn't even just apply to religion. I mean, let's say not that long ago in American history, you could go down to places in the South, and let's be honest, not even just the South. I mean, anywhere. And racism was rampant. And if you were like, I don't think it's right that we segregate blacks and whites. I don't think that's fair. I mean, anyone could have looked and said, well, look around, dude. Everyone thinks it's okay. So what's your problem? I mean, the fact that other people believe it doesn't make it so. Just doesn't. Anyway. And by the way, I'm not like a skilled debater, so I'm sure that there is like official names for these arguments or errors. What do they call them? Logical fallacies, I think they're called. Yeah. So this is a logical fallacy. I just don't know which one it is. Right? The fallacy of like everybody else says it's true, so it must be, right? Anyway, all right. Moving on. The scriptures are laid before thee, yea, drink, and all things denote there is a God. What? Again with his things. He just seems to think that the word thing means God, and I don't know what. He needs to elaborate on that a little. All right. Yea, drink, even the earth and all things that are upon the face of it. Yea, drink again, and its motion. Yea, drink a third time, and also all the planets which move in their regular form do witness that there is a supreme creator. I mean, at this period in time, I can't see how they would have thought differently, right? This is God of the gaps, right? And so how else could they explain how the planets move and how all this stuff? It had to be some spirit in the sky making it all happen. We know more now, right? We've seen further into the universe. We can explain things. So at this point in time, fair enough. If just the creation itself probably was pretty strong evidence for these people, because they didn't have the benefit of modern science and modern discovery, but that is in fact Supreme Creator. It's a terrible argument today, right? Because we can actually go back and say, well, no, that's not why. We can explain it. But apparently for them, the Supreme Creator had to be there because the universe exists. All right. And yet do we go about leading away the hearts of this people, testifying unto them that there is no God. And yet will ye deny against all these witnesses? And he said, Yea, drink, I will deny, except ye shall show me a sign. Korihor sticking to his guns. He's like, nope, not letting you get away with it, Alma. You are either going to... Yeah, let's go amputee. I really like that one, because that would convince me. So I think Korihor and I are on the same side. Give me a sign, I'm convinced. So go get Ammon, say one of those guys who chopped his arm off, bring him here. Actually, I think the king, right? He should be there. The king of all the land that was never named. Oh no, he died. That's right. He died of old age. But surely there's somebody there who got amputated by Ammon, because Ammon was it was like his hobby. So yeah, bring one of those guys down. So you got your arm lopped off, grow it back, and I think Korihor will shut the hell up. As will I. I'll stop this show. I'll be like, done. Sorry. I apologize. My bad. God's real. I'm out. Drop the mic. Literally. Okay. And now it came to pass, drink. But Alma said unto him, Behold, I am grieved because of the hardness of your heart. Yea, drink, that you will still resist the spirit of the truth, that thy soul may be destroyed. Why doesn't Alma just say, okay, fine, here's your sign? Your arm grew back. You happy? Nope. Alma knows he can't give him a sign. Which is weird, because Alma talks to God all the time. Like, they're buddies. He just goes in the back room. He's like, yo, what's up, God? This dude needs a sign. He's pretty influential. I think you could hook me up here. You know, why doesn't Alma even try? It's weird. But behold, it is better that thy soul should be lost than thou shouldst be the means of bringing many souls down to destruction. Oof, hard sentence to read. But basically, it's better for you, one, to be, sent to hell than you convince a bunch of people that this is BS and then they all go to hell, pretty much. Then by lying and by thy flattering words, therefore, if thou shalt deny again, behold, God shall smite thee, and thou shalt become dumb. Well, that's rude. That thou shalt never open thy mouth any more, and that thou shalt not deceive this people any more. Well, fair enough. I mean, this actually would be a sign. So, Alma, that's a sign. If you have the ability to make him go dumb. Now, if you, go and, cut his tongue out, that's not fair. But if he's just standing there minding his business, and Alma's like, if you say deny one more time, you will never speak another word. God will make it so. And he says, I deny it. And then, bam. He literally can't speak anymore. I mean, that is what Korihor asked for. I think he would be like, yep, God's real. My bad. So, all right, let's see. Let's see what happens. Now Korihor said unto him, I do not deny the existence of a God. What? But I do not believe that there is a God. What? I do not deny the existence of a God, but I do not believe that there is a God. What on earth does that mean? I don't know. He's Korihor. No, I was with you. Now you're not making any sense. I don't understand the difference. I do not deny the existence of God, but I do not believe that there is a God. Seriously, what does that mean? It's a complete contradiction in the same sentence. Weird. And I also say that ye do not know that there is a God. Except ye show me a sign, I will not believe. So, maybe what he's saying, okay. I think what Korihor is saying, I'm not outright saying there can't be a God. Don't misinterpret me. I'm not saying there is absolutely no God. All I'm saying is, I've never seen any evidence for him, and until I see some evidence for him, I choose not to believe he exists. Fair. Korihor, poorly worded in the beginning of that sentence, this whole, I do not deny the existence of God. That was a bit weird. We could have said that differently, but I think we're aligned now. We're on the same page. Awesome. And I actually agree with you. Okay. Now Alma said unto him, This will I give unto thee for a sign. Thou shalt be struck dumb, according to my words. And I say that in the name of God ye shall be struck dumb, that ye shall no more have utterance. Now when Alma had said these words, Korihor was struck dumb, that he could not have utterance according to the words of Alma. Well, Korihor, there's your sign. I think that's pretty impressive. Well done, Alma. Interesting, though, that Alma, he didn't even have to, go talk to God about it. He just decided, you're going to go dumb, God's got my back. If I say it, God's going to make it happen. Alma's got quite a bit of power, doesn't he? Something. He just says, in the name of God, he could do anything. He should have brought the guy in, said, in the name of God, grow your arm back. That would have been then nobody would have, been disabled at the end. Matter of fact, somebody would have been healed, and Korihor wouldn't have been dumb. Matter of fact, he probably would have gone around to all the people he preached to and said, "My bad, I was wrong. Forget what I said." But no, they chose to make him go dumb. Not the best strategy, but at least Korihor got his sign. Now when the chief judge saw this, he put forth his hand and wrote unto Korihor, saying, "Art thou convinced of the power of God? In whom did ye desire that Alma should show forth his sign? Would ye that he should afflict others to show unto thee a sign? Behold, he has showed unto you a sign, and now will ye dispute more?" Wow, that was basically just like, do you believe now? Took 10 sentences to say that, but that's the question. If you had to write all that down, wouldn't that have been easier? Just like, believe, question mark? No, he had to go through this long, do you believe, desire, forth sign? Bah, whatever. And Korihor put forth his hand and wrote, saying, "I know that I am dumb, for I cannot speak, and I know that nothing save it were the power of God could bring this upon me. Yea, drink, and I always knew that there was a God." What? Are you, Korihor? What? I mean, fair enough. I gotta admit, if I was standing there fine and some guy was like, "Do you believe that I can make you go dumb?" Like, no, and then all of a sudden it was like, boom, can't talk anymore, I'd be like, okay, you've got my attention. Fair enough. But this whole thing at the end, I always knew there was a God. Why would he say something like that? That doesn't add up for the rest of his speech. Anyway, there you go. "But behold, the devil hath deceived me, for he appeared..." He's writing all this down, and I also love that he wrote in a yea. You know what I mean? So, like, he has to write this down because he can't speak. And he's like, he actually decided to write, "Yea, I have always knew that there was a God." That's awesome. So he's continuing to write. "But behold, the devil hath deceived me, for he appeared unto me in the form of an angel, and said unto me, Go and reclaim this people, for they have all gone astray after an unknown God. And he said unto me, There is no God, yea, drink, and he taught me that which I should say." This is the dumbest thing I've read so far. We'll break this down in a second, but this is just, wow. This is stupid. Okay, "And I've taught his words, and I taught them because they were pleasing unto the carnal mind, and I taught them even until I had much success, insomuch that I verily believe that they were true. And for this cause I withstood the truth, even until I have brought this great curse upon me." Now when he said this, he besought that Alma should pray unto God, and that the curse might be taken from him. All right, we're gonna stop. Did you guys hear this? Korihor, who I thought was just a smart dude, right? And basically, like, looked at all the evidence and say, I don't see any compelling evidence for God here, and I'm being asked to, like, live my life by it. I'm going to challenge that, right? I mean, I'm basically going to ask for some evidence, and every time he asked for it, people were just like, "Oh, how could you?" And so now he's gotten his sign, he's gotten evidence, and they're like, "Now do you believe?" He's like, "Well, here's the deal. An angel came down, looked like an angel. As far as I was concerned, it was an angel. You guys have seen angel. They've told you stuff. You ran with it, right? So now I had an angel come to me, right? And told me, hey, go tell everyone there's no God. Now who is he to question an angel, right? So he's going around doing it. This is so strange. So Korihor actually really did always know there was a God because he thought he was, like, doing God's instructions, right? Because it says that. "The devil appeared to me in the form of an angel." So he didn't know it was the devil. He thought it was an angel. Alma was visited by an angel. Angel told him what to do. Alma followed the angel's instructions. Great things happened to him. Now this poor Korihor guy, angel visits him, tells him what to do. Korihor follows the instructions. Now he can't speak, and he's a pariah to society, and they call him the Antichrist. It's like, you did the same thing. How was he supposed to know that that angel wasn't an angel of God? How could Korihor possibly have known? Right? It just doesn't. This is so dumb. Like, it doesn't add up. I'm sorry if I've gone to insulting mode, and I know I try not to be, but come on. If that whole angel thing, they didn't need to throw that in. If all Korihor had to say was like, you know what, I've been a skeptic forever, and I needed evidence, and you gave it to me, and now I'm convinced. Thank you. No, he has to be like, "The devil told me to do it, but I thought he was an angel, so I mean, my bad." Like, nah, that made the story just fall apart. Korihor, I don't know what to say. I don't think you deserve that music we played for you, quite frankly. I'm glad I stopped it. You're not nearly as evil now. You're just a dummy. You had some vision in your head, thought it was God, or whatever. I will move on. All right, so he said, basically, can you take the curse away, Alma? Because my bad. All right, but Alma said unto him, "If this curse should be taken from thee, thou wouldst again lead away the hearts of the people. Therefore it shall be unto thee even as the Lord will." Okay, and it came to pass, drink, that the curse was not taken off of Korihor, but he was cast out, and went about from house to house begging for his food. See, that's Again, that's just rude, because if I'm to believe this story end to end, what did Korihor do wrong? He was visited by an angel that gave him a specific set of instructions which he carried out, right? He carried them out, even though at first he had to have thought, well, this goes against everything we've been taught before. But okay, I mean, all of these people had visions that went against Alma. Not Alma. Lehi had visions way back in the day that went against what his people believed. And he was like, well, this is God's message. I'm going to do it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it makes sense to me. Doesn't matter if I personally think this is right. It's what God's telling me to do. I got to do it. So Korihor did the same thing. And his reward for that, can't speak anymore, and now you're a beggar, going house to house. That's fantastic. Good, just great morals in this book. So remember, if an angel comes and visits you, best advice, ignore it. Right? Just ignore it. Because it could be the devil. You don't want to take that risk, right? Just let it go. Be like, go away. Angel, shoo. I don't know who you are. You can tell me that you're holy, but the devil lies, so I don't know who you are. And it's just terrible. Whatever. All right. Now the knowledge of what happened unto Korihor was immediately published throughout all the land. Yea, drink! The proclamation was sent forth by the chief judge to all the people in the land, declaring unto those who had believed in the words of Korihor that they must speedily repent, lest the same judgments would come unto them. All right, so anyone that Korihor convinced, they're basically, and I love that this wasn't a crime, right? Nothing of what Korihor did was a crime. Nothing that, when he converted people, they weren't committing a crime, but somehow they're being punished, right? So it's like, you're going to become beggars and be cast out, but it's not a crime. Yeah, we won't punish you. We'll just cast you out and make you a pariah. That's kind of makes it seem like a crime, guys. Banishment and all that kind of stuff, kind of feels like a punishment for a crime that you're saying wasn't a crime. Yeah, okay. What are you going to do? And it came to pass during that they were all convinced of the wickedness of Korihor. I'm not convinced of the wickedness of Korihor. I think Korihor was misled by the devil. This is me actually accepting, like, in order for this story to make sense, I have to accept that God's real, the devil's real, angels are real. Fine. I'll give you all that. For the sake of this story, I'm granting you all that. How is Korihor wicked? I don't get it. He did what he thought he was doing, God's work, and angel came. I'm repeating it, but still, I don't know how he was wicked. Therefore they were all converted again unto the Lord, and this put an end to the iniquity of the manner of Korihor. And Korihor did go about from house to house, begging for food for his support. That's great. Poor guy, that's all I have to say. And it came to pass drink, that as he went forth among the people, yea, drink, among a people who had separated themselves from the Nephites, and called themselves Zoramites, being led by a name... I'm sorry. Sorry. I love that I have to explain this, because I was instantly about to say, like, as soon as the sentence was done, oh, cool, Zoram had himself, his own city back in the day. Remember, Zoram was Laban's servant that was kidnapped and, at gunpoint told to join them, and he did. Yeah. So now there's this place called Zoramites live there, so pretty obvious who the Zoramites are. But I love that they finish the sentence, being led by a man whose name was Zoram. Thanks. Needed that. And he went forth amongst them. Behold, he was run upon and trodden down, even until he was dead. I'm assuming they're still talking about Korihor. He is just at death's door, because he's trodden down. And thus we see the end of him who perverteth the ways of the Lord, and thus we see that the devil will not support his children at the last day, but doth speedily drag them down to hell. First off, I have no idea why they had to throw in there that he made it to the Zoramites. What did that have to do with anything? It's just like, by the time he got to the Zoramites, he was almost dead. Yeah. And it says basically that only God has your back. If the devil tells you to do something and you do it, he doesn't have your back. But if the devil makes you think that he's God or an angel and you do it, yeah, it doesn't count. You don't get a pass for that. It's lovely. That's just lovely. My God, that's it. We're at time. I read one chapter. The Korihor chapter. I'm sorry, guys. Wow. That's, this was long. It wasn't that long of a chapter. It just had so much to say. I had to pick it apart. Well, I hope you guys are okay with having just chapter 30 be an episode. Have we ever had an episode that was just one chapter? I don't know that we have. Well, it is what it is, but okay. At least we had some cool music in there, some fun stuff. And, I'm telling you, it's going to take forever to get through Alma if I only do an episode, because I've been told this is really long. I don't know how far we are. But, That's not fun. Okay, well, that's it for today. I can't possibly read another chapter. Well, let me just see how many pages 31 is. If it's more than 2, oh, yeah. That's like 6 or 7. There's no way I can read that and still make this. Because seriously, studies have shown that if you try to make something over an hour, people lose interest. And so I got to keep them short and sweet. So we're going to have to cut it off. Well, all right. That was the Korihor episode. Hope everybody liked it. I feel bad. At first I was excited about Korihor, but by the end, man, I'm like, poor guy. What'd you do wrong? I don't know. And I do want to say, for those listening, I'm sorry I started saying that this was dumb and stupid. It was just dumb and stupid. I'm sorry. It was kind of, right? It just didn't, things fell apart at the end of that story, and, sorry. I don't try to go insulting. You guys know that. I usually try to give this book a fair shake. But sometimes there's things like kind of when the whole racist thing first came out that God was changing skin color, and I was just like, I almost threw up on my e-reader, Like certain times just things come out and I just can't hold my tongue. It's just too much to just like accept. And this was one of them, this poor guy, poor Korihor. That should be a song. Somebody write that song. Poor Korihor, And by the way, man, I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. I've been saying Korihor the whole time. Maybe it's like Korihor or something. I hope not. Korihor sounds fun. Anyway, if I'm saying it wrong, let me know. Otherwise, it is what it is. Okay, I've officially entered the babbling stage of the episode, which happens at the end of all of our episodes. So I'm just going to have to end it. But first, I'm going to say thank you to all the Mimos. You guys are the best. And I know I say it every time because it's still true every time. So keep being awesome and keep sending out your support and keep emailing me and posting your comments. It keeps me going. And, without you doing that, I don't know that I'd be this far. I might have given up on this whole project if I didn't have all you out there that continue to tell me that you're getting something out of this and you're enjoying it and keeps me going. So keep me going. All right. Okay, with that being said, thanks to everybody, and we will talk to you next time. Goodbye.
This song is licensed for use within this podcast. All song and copyright information can be found at www.mybookofmormonpodcast.com.